Hello, everyone. I am making some adjustments as we prepare to get started with the workshop. Yay! Welcome to the workshop. Resilience Beyond Me. Confidence is key. And the workshop is free. Yay! All right, let's get started. We've got some stuff to cover. And let's see, before I get started, some of you may not know me, and many of you don't know me. So let's get this party started. The workshop is a confidence building workshop. And my name is Jackie Dickens Walker. I am an event host, and I do have some notes. So you're going to see me referring to them, but let me see. I can put them over here, and then it won't be so obvious. I am an event host, motivational speaker, mother of 5, retired Navy and Army veteran, and this one I pinch myself on. And as I tell you some of the stories, if you've been watching my lives, you know some of the stories, and there'll be some more coming out today, which I really literally pinch myself, and just thinking of what I went through. And 21 years, we did it. Started at 18, finished at, gosh, how old was I when I finished? I need to do the math on that. But anyway, and now I am a confidence and leadership mentor. I'm a workshop facilitator, of which I am doing now. And in the global marketplace, of which social media is a massive moving marketing machine. And once you learn how to use it, it's a powerful tool. It requires visibility and growth. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Confidence is a big part of the key to what I just said. Now, when you think about confidence, I've mentioned it earlier in my lives. Fear is, there is no courage without fear. When fear is present, there is a key that can unfold the confidence within me, within you. We have confidence. We have courage. And when fear is present, that within us can come out, and does. And there's many stories that tell that, right? So there is no courage without fear, and there is no confidence without courage. Courage is done over and over again. When fear is present and you acknowledge it and say, yes, this is not this, I don't like this, I don't like this, and you acknowledge it, see that it's there, and then you see your next step and you go toward it, that's entering into the courage to walk, even though fear wants to freeze you. Fear wants you to be frozen. Stop, don't move, don't do anything. But that next step is the step into courage. And then when you do that over and over again, that starts building confidence, because you begin to say, oh, I did that, and I can do this. So that's kind of what we're going to be going over in this. Now, this global marketplace that we are in right now, the internet, is, we've never been at this time before. This is the wild frontier. And it's not just our town. It's not just our county. It's not just our state or country. It is global. It's a global marketplace. And social media is a moving marketing machine that's massive. And that's what we're on right now, social media. And when you learn how to really use it, for whatever it is you're doing. If you're a new speaker, if you're an experienced speaker, if you're an author, you're trying to get your book out. If you're a coach, you're trying to get your clients, you're trying to get visible, you're trying to let people hear your message so that they know where you are, so that they can reach you. Social media is the vehicle that you want to be using. This is a global marketplace. And this is the new frontier. And it is the opportunity beyond measure. And the one big thing it requires is visibility and growth. And we're going to talk about that. So there is no courage without fear, right? And there is no confidence without exercising courage. Courage over and over builds confidence, all right? Now, fear, it can freeze you. And I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about a time when fear literally froze me. I could not move, unlike right now. I could not move my body. And I wanted to. But I was able to regroup in time and see that next step, take it, and it loosened things up, and I was able to move again. I was able to move again. All right, you ready? Here we go. Now, I'm taking you deeper into Air Assault School, the book. And I shared it on my lives. If this is new to you, this is a book that I wrote when I was in the Army in 1980, 1982. I was in Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, and I decided to go through Air Assault School. And once I got through all the requirements, the push-ups, the sit-ups, the run-up, Coley, and back down to the MP barracks, once I got through that, I was asked, are you sure you want to do this? And I looked at him, and I was still, I'm breathing, just finished this really hard test with 2 minutes to spare. Had everything in my rucksack, because you had to have everything in your rucksack, which of course was weight while you were doing the run. And he cleared me. I was in. But there was a question he asked me. And he said, are you sure you want to do this? And I looked at him like, yeah. And he said, because you know you're going to be the only female in this class. And I said, okay. And then I said, yes, I want to do it. So Monday morning, I was off to Air Assault School. And I knew, sitting in my room over the weekend, that this was not going to be a slam dunk. And the way he asked me that was injecting additional fear. Like, what am I doing? Do I really want to do this? But I knew I did. I'd already gotten clearance from First Sergeant, CO, got my medical clearance, passed all the tests. Monday's coming, I'm going. So off to Air Assault School we go. And the first thing I'm learning as we're getting there is we're going to do a lot of running. And we did a lot of running. And we're jumping up and down off the back of the Deuce and a Half, which is a big metal dump truck. And that in itself, climbing up in that thing and then climbing down, that in itself was something. All right. So going through all of that, it was very taxing on your body. And at the end of the first run, I came in with like 2 other people. We came in last. And if you don't get through certain things each day during this training, you are kicked out of the training. So we got 2 weeks, 10 days. Here we go. So the first run, I finished the run. I didn't give up, but we came in last, and that was okay. We were invited to come back the next day. And during that run, the person that was with me, we decided we were going to be buddies. We were going to help each other get through this training. So I go home, then I come back, and again, you got all those thoughts in the back of your head, right? So then there comes a time when you keep dealing with fear, when you keep facing it head on and saying, yeah, I know, I see you, I got you, but I'm going to do this. And you focus on that next step. You don't focus on the whole, oh, I got to get through 2 weeks of air assault school and I'm the only female. You don't focus on that. You focus on that next step. What is my next step? And when I focus on that, then I'm not caught up in that overwhelm of all that noise. So the next day we go, and the more courage you keep kicking in gear, eventually confidence is going to show up and say, look at you, look at you, look at you, getting through the fear, exercising your courage that's within all of us. We all have it. It's just a matter of whether we exercise it. So this day, I go to class, and I have always had, like, I can grab things fast. I see patterns, and I can, you might say it's photographic memory. I never knew that until recently when I found out my human design. But I can align with that. I can see that. And so we're in this class. Now we're doing all this running through caves that are up to our thighs in water, pitch black. And you have to have toe heel to the person in front of you, and your foot goes with their foot so that you know you don't step in that hole that goes over your head. Yeah, that. And then you keep going. You don't know when the end is this tunnel. And you're all dirty and stinky. And then finally you see this light. And I said, oh, that's what they mean when they say a light at the end of the tunnel. That was my first understanding of, I see light at the end of the tunnel. And I did. So that was encouraging. That was encouraging. I'm going to get through this tunnel. I'm not going to fall in the hole and get eaten by whatever monster's in there because it's pitch black. And we come out of there, and then we have to go sit in a classroom. Now, after doing all that running and all that stuff, all you want to do in a classroom is go to sleep. It's boring, right? You're learning something that you don't know. Well, it seems that this little gift of mine, when I heard what they were saying and they explained it to me, it just, I had it. And this particular day, we had taken a test, and then we had to go do that or whatever. And then we came back, and they were reading off the results of the test. And it seems that Private Dickens did very well on the test. Now, Private Dickens is the only female in this whole arena of about 75 or 100 guys trying to go through the school. There's no female instructors. They were called cadre. There's no female cadre. Just me. And they're testing me. And they're saying things like, okay, we're going to make you squad leader, so you got to make them listen to you. I was like, okay. But what I didn't know then, and I do know now, I was designed a leader. So I had it in me, and I can tell you more about that, but I'm not going to. But what I want to tell you about this part was I did good on the test. And then they started looking at me like, ooh, she can help us. She can help Private Dickens. They looked at me different, like, oh, I'm a helpful part of the team. I knew that. They were learning it. So then it was time to do sling load day. Sling load day is when you have to wrap a Jeep up so that the chopper can lift it and not be off balance and risk the pilots of the chopper, the helicopter. So our test, and if we fail, we get kicked out of the school. Every day there was this bell or horn that they would ring, and that meant someone was getting kicked out. Every day people were getting kicked out. People were getting kicked. So you got that coming in the back of your head. You got all these fears that are lingering all around. They're all around. But what do? You focus on that next step and let courage walk with you. And confidence is right there too. She's coming. So now it's time to do sling load day. And they explained how to strap up the Jeep and have it ready, weight distributed properly, so that when the chopper comes, we hook it up, it goes up, and no accidents happen. Well, they were freaking out about it. All the guys were like, oh my God, I've gotten this far. You know, this is part of week 2. I've gotten this far. I don't want to get kicked out now. I'm like, what are you stressing about? They told us how to do it. They told us how to do it. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to remember it. I don't know. I said, I remember it. I'll do it. When he says who he wants, I'll go. Okay. So I go up. He calls. Who's coming? I said, I'm coming. Okay, Private Dickens. He said, where does this go? I said, right there. Where does this go? Right there. How many times do we twist this or wrap this? None. It has to be completely free of any wraps. Okay? Where does this go? Right there. Okay? And he's looking at me like that. And I'm like, what's your next question? And I'm sure he asked me a few extras. And I answered him all the questions. And he looked at me and he gave me a little nod like, good job. And then to them, he said, okay, next, who's next? But he was letting me know and encouraging me. And again, this is where confidence crept in, right? I was facing the fear. I was wrapped in courage. And confidence was saying, see, you got this, girl. You got this. You got this. Confidence was walking with me. But you don't get it if you don't first step into courage. And you don't say, fear, I see you. I know you're there. And I'm going to go right there and focus on your next step, not the whole arena. Now, this day is the Australian Rappel. The Australian Rappel is where you walk face down the side of the tower. And if you say, I can't do it, then the horn blows and you're gone. You're out of the school. And a lot of guys said no. So they're looking at me. Private Dickens, are you going up the tower? I said, yes, Sergeant, I'm going. Okay. And what do? So Private Dickens is going up the tower, but you're coming down? You can't beat a girl? I'm like, I didn't say it, but I'm trying to make friends. You are not helping me. But that was the time it was. There were not a lot of women with this badge at that time. But it was getting real close, and I was going to get it. But I had to get through this. The Australian Rappel. So we're at the top of the tower. And the first thing you have to do is lean over. Lean over the tower. Your feet are here and you have to lean forward. Oh, and it's like 100 feet up. You have to lean forward. And you're all strapped up and you got your clip here and the ropes through there. And this is your break right here. And when you go out, that gives more rope and you're able to go. And then this is your break right here. So the first thing you got to do is go from here to here. This is the tower and your feet are on it and your face is looking down. And so I was terrified. I said, he knows what to do. This is what I said to myself. He knows what to do. Listen to what he tells you and just do it. Listen to what he tells you and just do it. Sometimes you need someone who knows what to do to help you, to guide you, to show you, this is what you do. Just do it. This will work if you just do it. Fear is present, but so is courage. It's in you. Fear gives you the opportunity to have courage. Fear gives you the opportunity to walk in courage. And the more you walk in courage, guess who comes along? Confidence! Confidence rides in the same vehicle with you. There's fear, there's courage, and there's confidence. We have been raised in a society to fear. Oh, don't make a mistake. You're going to do it wrong. You're going to do it wrong. I couldn't afford to fear and allow fear to run me now because I'm face first with my feet on the tower 100 feet off the ground. And my next goal is to get to the ground without blood because I'm going to go down, but I don't want to bleed. So I said, okay, listen to what he's saying and do what he's saying. So this is what I do. He said, release your brake and start running. Release your brake and start running? I was like, okay. I didn't do that, but in my head. So I released my brake and I'm running. And I quickly put my brake back on again. And I'm swinging by the rope, right? Then I get my feet on the wall again, and because I'm not turning, so then I gotta keep going. I'm like going down, but it was a little bit fun. It was the weirdest thing. It was like, oh my God, that was like a little fun. So I did it again. I was like, okay, let's do it. Remember, release the brake and start running. Okay, so I release the brake. I start running again. And I got even further and I put the brake on and I'm swinging like this. And everybody down below is, private ticket, you know, they're screaming, right? Because they're belaying the rope. They're making sure to prevent me from, and everybody was getting, you know, support. And so the next one, I was down. And my friends at the bottom, they were like, your eyes were big as saucers on the top. But in my mind, I was on the ground. I wasn't bleeding. I did it. Confidence, present in the room. Oh yeah, probably a little bit of cocky. And that's okay. Look at what just happened, right? It started with fear. Fear was there. I knew it was fear, but I also knew that if I just take this step, if I just focus on this step, that will move me forward. And if you move forward in the presence of fear, you're operating in courage. And if you do that enough times, confidence is a key that will be in your pocket. And confidence is key in this online arena. This global marketplace, this massive moving marketing machine. It requires visibility and growth. Social media is a platform that if you embrace it, it will give you the visibility and the growth that you need. If you want more, you need to become more. Wayne Dyer said that. In order to attract more, become more. How do you become more? You got to grow. You got to face the fear. You got to walk in that courage when it peeks its little head out and build confidence. Now, there was one more thing I had to do. And when fear freezes you, what do you do? When fear freezes you, what do you do? All right. It was coming out the chopper day. This is our final test. We got to gear up, load up, and different ones will go up in the chopper and then they will rappel down. And I wasn't in the first load, so of course I had to sit there and watch, which was good because it was learning it, right? But we had trained on the tower. We had trained. I did the Australian rappel, right? I said, I did that and I could do this. I did that and I can do this. And that's what courage will do. It will build that confidence. I did that and I could do this. So I'm in the chopper and it is loud, so loud. I mean, think about it. But when you tell the story, I gotta remind you, it is loud. Okay. Noisy. And the instructor that's in there is an instructor that's been really, really helpful to me. I mean, he's not, some of them were like yelling in my face, trying to make me cry. Some of them were, very flippant and not very nice. But he didn't coddle me, but he pointed out the things that I was doing well in order to continue to encourage me. Like that. Okay. And I learned from him really well. I liked his energy. I liked the way he taught, and he was in the chopper. I was like, okay, good. We're good. So we're sitting there, got a helmet on, and he has it's not puffy. This is hard. It's a hard thing. And when they bang it on your steel pot, your helmet, which is in a picture right here, this steel pot, right here, that was me, number 16 in air assault school. And that's my steel pot. And when they bang on it, you can hear it. And so the instructions were, I'm going to tell you to get out, put your foot on the skid, on the rudder, on the little bar out there, on the chopper. And then I'm going to go like this. And that means lean back. This means lean back, right? And then when he takes the round thing that he had and he bangs your steel pot, that means you're supposed to bend your knees, come in, bend your knees and push off the rudder and unrelease your brake and go down. That's the idea. So I'm standing on the rudder, standing on the skid, at the outside of the chopper. And he's going like this. And I can't move. I want to. My body won't move. And if I don't do this, I don't pass. My body froze. I saw him and I knew what he wanted me to do, but I couldn't get my body to do it. So he came in a little closer. And again, it's hard to hear him. And he said, Private Dickens. He said, when I go like this, I want you to move back. Look at me. Focus. Look at me. I do this to my grandson all the time now. Focus. I'll never forget him doing this. Focus. I said, okay. He said, when I do this, I want you to lean back. You know how to do it. You know how. Okay? Yes, Sergeant. And when I go like this, I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, just going live. And then I want you to go. Yes, Sergeant. So I said, I have to do this. He knows how to do it. Just listen to what he says and do what he says. Just do it. Just do the next step, what he says. Just do what he says. So I zoomed in on him. And when he did that, I did what he said. I leaned back. And I was ready. I leaned back. And then he went 3, 2, 1, and he tapped my helmet. And I bent my knees. They were still a little locked. I bent my knees and I pushed off. And I wished I'd have pushed off harder. But I cleared the rudder. And then I pulled the brake and I got down a little bit and then I was swinging. I braked, which you're supposed to. Now, in the Army in the 1980s, the uniforms were men's uniforms. They had not gotten to that point yet where women were actually wearing uniforms that fit women, starting with the gloves. The gloves were too big. And when I came down like this, my glove got caught. So when I released the next time, my glove pulled off. And now the rope is on my skin and it's burning my hand and I'm breaking. Now all I gotta do is one more and I'm down. I'm pretty close to the ground. One more and I'm down. And I just said 1, 2, 3. Whoosh, down I went. And when I got down, it was obvious. I had bad rope burns and my glove was caught up in the rope. But I did it. I got down. I did it. I did it. Through the fear. Put on the courage. And then I was able to go to graduation with confidence. I was able to go home that night and tell my CO and my first sergeant that I completed Aris Health School and I was going to be graduating. Will you be coming? And different ones came and attended, and it was great. My point in that part of the story is my body literally froze. Fear can freeze us from taking that next step. There's another part. What we think and say brings life to what we think and say. We as humanity right now are evolving. We are changing. When people think of technology, they don't think of humans. They think of the phone in the latest version. They think of the computer. They think of the smart house or the smart car. They think of technology out there. But we as humans, we are evolving. And we are more intuitive and more aligned with our energetic senses than in any other time. And what we think and what we say brings life to what we think and what we say. And when we're younger and we're growing up, we're in a society that is teaching us in school. They're domesticating us and they're teaching us the things that we should know, our roles as a girl. You don't take shop, you take home ec, and other things that they're teaching us about us and what we're capable of doing or not. With this old programming comes a lot of baggage. And when we go to do something new, I often say that I am my BFF. And I always tell myself when I'm down doing my 2-minute plank in the morning, I trust you. I trust you to do what you say you're going to do because look at you, you're doing it now. And when I say that I trust me, you know what that does? Number one, when I go to tell somebody, if you do this and this and this, it will help you. And that same energy that I give to myself when I tell myself something, when I share that with somebody else, you better believe they can feel it. So if I don't trust myself, how will I relay the trust energy to those who don't even know me? How will I do that? Because people nowadays are reading your energy more than what you say. They want to know where you're coming from. You ever feel like when someone walks in the room, did you feel her energy? She's dynamic. I like your energy. You hear that all the time now. Oh, I didn't like the vibe there. Nope, not going there. We're very intuitive and we're really sensitive these days. And it's very important, especially in an online environment, that if we lead ourselves to do the things we say we're going to do, when we go to relay that message, that same energy will come out in our message. Because we believe it in our subconscious because we tell ourselves that every day. Because if we're constantly saying, oh, I can't do this, I don't know how to do this, and oh, I don't know, well, I can't do that. Oh my God, the technology, how am I ever going to build that? I can't do that, I can't do that. You keep saying that, and you're right, you can't. What you think and say brings life to what you think and say. Try it. Now, because if you don't trust yourself to do what you say you're going to do, it's not because you're untrustworthy. It's because of the programming. It's because of what you're putting in your computer. It's because if you keep saying, oh, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. That's too hard. I don't know how to do that. If you keep saying that, that goes into your subconscious. And what's in there comes out. Not because you're untrustworthy, but because of how you're programming your computer. I think I probably need to say that again. If you're constantly thinking, oh, I can't do that, I don't know how to do that, I can't do that, and then you're going and you're talking to someone and saying, hey, I can help you write that book and get it up on Amazon and help you with your marketing. What energy do you think is going to come out? That same energy. What you just were saying to yourself, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. How many of those thoughts are negative? Fear paralyzes us in many ways. When I first started saying, I'm a motivational speaker, guess who was the first one that had to believe me? Me. And I kept saying it. And then I was asked, how many times are you going to speak a month? I said 6 to 8. And it's been 11 months and I've spoken 90 times. This is 91. When you go to do something and you speak it to yourself, I'm going to do this. I said, I'm going to go to air assault school. And though I didn't want to do the Australian rappel, though I was frozen and couldn't move coming out of the chopper, I took the necessary steps to put on courage and keep going. And keep going. And that's what we're doing now in this new frontier. Here it is in this new frontier, holding a workshop. Nobody had to park. Nobody had to get on a bus or a plane. Here we are. We are a global marketplace. What we think and say brings life to what we think and say. And when we really tap in, not just say, oh, that's a cute saying. Oh, isn't that cute? Yeah, she says that a lot. It's not a cute saying. It's true. I kept saying, I'm a motivational speaker. And now I'm being asked to come and speak repeatedly. What are you? What are you looking to do? What are you trying to do? If you're following me, this is the kind of stuff I talk about. So it must interest you in a way. What is it you're trying to do? Do you need to set up your Facebook profile so that it can attract the audience that you're looking to attract? That's something we do in my program, the Get It Done program. We get it done and we have fun. And there's one thing that we definitely don't do, is hang around in overwhelm. We identify it, we acknowledge it, and then we focus on the next step. Because more times than not, that very next step, more times than not, that very first step will stifle the project. Stifle the project. When you're building a team of people, there's different phases to getting to the team to a performing phase. And one of them is norming, storming, something and performing. And it takes time to come together as a team. And you've got all the preconceived notions, all the pre-programmed thoughts that are there, that need to be sorted through. And one really helpful thing that we did in a leadership course that I took was I don't know the name of it, Briggs Myers or something like that, where it shows you your personality and how you think and how you're a planner or a seat fly by the seat of your pants, a pantser. You either got to have everything written down. It's got to be all done exactly like you've planned it, or it doesn't sit well with you. Whereas a person who does things like by the seat of their pants is like, oh, do you want to go here? Can you speak tomorrow? Are you available Thursday? Yeah. Whereas, wait, I got to check my calendar. Wait, no, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. No, that's not. Both are valuable parts of the team. But knowing the skill sets of each and knowing what makes them tick and how they function best makes the team stronger. So the planner, if the fly by the seat says, you know what, maybe we could do that, and then the planner says, well, I think it would probably be, and then if the fly by the seat says, oh yeah, you know what, why don't you go ahead and plan it, and then I'll do the getting it to the next level. And that's where you're working with each other's skill sets to make the storming phase shorter. Because there is a storming phase where, no, I don't do it like that. Well, we always did it we've done it like this for years. And no, we don't do that. All that storming, and then forming, and then performing. Oh, forming, storming, normalizing it, and then performing. Something like that. Where the team starts working together. Well, that's a lot like what goes on in here. When you go to do something new, say, put on an online event, you have to first get the landing page together because people are going to have to be able to know about it, right? So that was not easy. Then you've got to set a date. Set a date. That right there will trip many people because that's a level of commitment, especially if you put it out. If you say it's going to be on this day, a lot of people have a hard time getting past that. And why is that? Why is that? It's all related to fear. What are they going to say? What are they going to think? What if I can't do it? What if I, all that. Knowing to take the next step. Sometimes you need a Sherpa, a guide. Makes it a lot easier. And that's what I refer my Get It Done program as. It's a guide. And it's a good one. And it's definitely accessible. It's $97 a month. Or you can grab 90 days to really check it out and commit. And in 90 days, it's $247. So you get a huge discount. And if you share, this is only for today, and it has to be done by midnight tonight. If you share this workshop graphic that's at the top of my profile, my cover graphic, all you got to do is save it and then post it and tag me, then I will give you an electronic version of this. And if you want to join the program, you would get a 50% off. You can join it for 30 days or 90 days. We get it done, and we're having fun in this global marketplace, this massive moving marketing machine. It's the new frontier. And once you get going, it's fun. It's fun. And you can take it with you. You could take it with you. You're not locked in a brick and mortar. You can take it with you. But it does come with some challenges related to fear, invisibility, all that stuff. So, remembering what you think and what you say brings life to what you think and what you say is not just a cute saying. There's a book called The Complaint-Free World. And in the book, it's stories of how people have a bracelet. It's purple, I believe. And you wear it on one hand, and then you try not to complain all day. And if you don't complain all day, you don't change the arm that you wear the bracelet on. And when you complain, you have to switch arms. And many offices did this challenge. Many people and families have done this challenge. It's become a global thing. It's huge. You can Google it. And the author says that a lot of people just quit because they can't do it. And the other people that have managed to do it, some have said it takes, 4 to 6 months before they were able to get all 21 days. It takes a lot of integrity, right? Because you got to be honest. Did you complain? And I think it's out of your mouth, not necessarily in your mind. So if you can catch it before it gets out of your mouth. But this goes along with what you think and what you say. Because when you're not complaining, what is complaining, right? And when they said that it changed their relationships, it changed the way they saw things, it changed their environment, because it's what they're saying. What we think and say brings life to what we think and say. It sounds very simple, but it's very powerful, which is why I say it all the time. And I practice it. I had to catch myself this morning. It's like, Jackie, you gotta be intentional with what you're thinking and what you're saying. And if you're kind in your mind to yourself, even if you're the only one that is, and for some of you listening, you being kind in your mind to yourself, you might be the only one who is. If you're kind, if you look in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself, and you trust yourself, and you believe in yourself, and things that you want to accomplish. I will learn to read, or whatever it is you're trying to do. If you keep saying that over and over, you'll be walking in it. Believe it. Emotion and repetition. You say it and you believe it. It is a powerful, powerful thing. And I give it to you today, free of charge. Try it out. 21 days. Wear a bracelet. And when you say something that's not nice to yourself, switch it to the other arm and start over. Do the kind to me strategy. Be kind to yourself. And if you say something mean, switch it over. Try to get to 21 days. Be intentional with your thoughts and what you say. Again, it's said that we think 60,000 thoughts a day. You want to be intentional. Sometimes I feel like I'm on guard because some thoughts that come rushing into us, they're not ours. But we can be made to think they are. Be kind in your mind with what you say to yourself. All right, let's see where we are here. I told you the story. All right, I told you that if you share the graphic, you're going to get an electronic version of the book so you can get the rest of the story. Or you can get 50% off the program, and you could also get a 30-minute one-on-one with me, whatever you want, if you want it. And I can enlighten even more. Now, tomorrow, this is going to be here. This is in the profile right here. This is in my personal profile, and it will hang here free for a little while. Day 2 of this workshop is going to be in my private Facebook group. So if you want to see day 2, then you just put in the comments or DM me day 2, and I will make sure you get the link to join the group. It's called Jackie's Workshop Hub, and you are welcome to join. It's free to join, and then both day 1 and day 2 will hang inside the hub, and you can refer back to it. You can share it with a friend. You can watch it or not. But I believe that's going to be a wrap for today. Yeah, it's been about 52 minutes. So I'm a little bit early, but I believe I'm done. So since I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and say ciao for now. But guess what? I will be back tomorrow. I will be inside the Facebook group. But this will hang here. And if you want to see day 2, you just DM me, and I will make sure you get inside the group and you're able to see both day 1 and day 2. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you for all of the comments. Look at the comments. No courage without fear. We are a global society. That's right. That's right. Fear is present, but so is courage. Confidence. Coaching. Step off the side of the tower. Focus on your next step. That's right. Fear, courage, confidence. That's right. Get to the ground without blood. That was the goal. You did it. I knew there was fear. Moved forward in the presence of fear and built confidence. If you want more, you need to become more. That's right. Face the fear. Walk with courage and build confidence. Breathe. I couldn't get my body to move. I really couldn't. I was frozen. And that's what fear does. Literally, I wanted it to move. I was like, come on, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And then when I focused in on him, and I just said, just do what he says. He knows what he's doing. Just do what he says. Do what he says. And that's what we gotta do. We just focus on the next step. And sometimes we need a guide. And that's okay. All right. That's your workshop, day 1, confidence is key, resilience beyond me. And for now, I'm going to say, ciao.